Hey everyone, it's me. Today we're going to look at an amazing discovery of an ancient skeleton that was found in an excavation in Israel. But this skeleton is over 300 feet tall, and it may prove that the Nephilim giants did indeed walk among us. You won't believe what they found inside the giant's skull. This is something that has never been seen before. Before we get into the video, be sure to hit that like button for more videos. Let's get into it. The Bible tells the story of the Nephilim and how they walked the earth during the time of Noah. They were the sons of the fallen angels known as the Watchers, which mated with human women and produced giant offspring who lived among humans, but not for long. In the book of Enoch, it states that these beings were incredibly tall, reaching heights of 90 cubits, or about 270 feet. These giants were incredibly strong, and their strength was many times that of men. It says that one giant, Ahiman, son of Seth, was able to kill 40 righteous men and eat them in one day. If you can picture a man who is 270 feet tall eating 40 people, that's pretty scary. And another giant named Arphaxad was so strong that he had to be killed by a large rock that fell from the sky. The Nephilim are first mentioned in Genesis 6:4, where it says that the Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward when the sons of God came into the daughters of men and had children by them. So we know that they existed, because the Bible tells us so. But there has never been any physical evidence proving that they existed until now. For hundreds of years, scientists have scoffed at the thought of these giants existing, claiming that they are purely a myth. However, with this new discovery, they can't deny them any longer. A group of Israeli archaeologists recently made a shocking discovery while excavating an ancient site near the Dead Sea. What they found was a skeleton that was over 300 feet tall. But that wasn't the only thing that made this skeleton so special. The archaeologists were shocked to find that the bones were extremely dense, much denser than normal human bones. The team of archaeologists was led by Professor Aryeh Shimron of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. He and his team were excavating the ancient site of Tel Tzaf in the Judean desert when they made the discovery of a lifetime. They found a burial cave that contained a single skeleton, which was unlike anything they had ever seen before. The skeleton was discovered lying on its side, and it appeared to be curled up in a fetal position. The skeleton was so large that it took several hours to fully map out. When they finally got the skeleton all cleaned up, they realized that it was not only abnormally large, but also very well preserved. The most surprising part of the discovery is that the skeleton was estimated to be around 300 feet tall. That is almost double the height of an average human being. To make matters even more strange, the bones were extremely dense, much denser than normal human bones. This suggests that the individual was not only abnormally tall, but also incredibly strong. One of the archaeologists on the team, Dr. Yuval Gadot, said, "We were stunned when we realized the size of the skeleton. We had never seen anything like it before." Another archaeologist on the team, Dr. Nama Yahalom, added, "The density of the bones suggests that this was not an ordinary person, but rather someone who was incredibly strong and powerful." When news of the discovery spread, it immediately sparked speculation that the skeleton could belong to one of the Nephilim giants. The Bible tells us that the Nephilim were the offspring of fallen angels and human women. They were known for their great size and strength, and they lived during a time when the world was still young. Many people believe that the Nephilim giants were real, but that they died out long ago. However, this new discovery suggests that they may have lived much later than we think. Some experts believe that the giant skeleton could have belonged to a member of the Nephilim, while others believe that it may have been the remains of a very tall human. However, this discovery has reignited the debate about whether or not the Nephilim giants really existed. The Bible tells us that they were on the earth in the days before the flood, but it does not say anything about what happened to them after the flood. Some people believe that they simply died out, while others believe that they survived the flood and lived among humans in secret. This new discovery could be evidence that the Nephilim giants did exist, but that they lived much later than we think. In fact, some people believe that they may still be alive today, but just hidden from our view. As we already stated, the skeleton was found in an ancient burial cave, which suggests that it was intentionally placed there. This suggests that the person who was buried there was important to the people who lived there. The presence of a burial cave also suggests that the person who was buried there was wealthy. Only the elite members of society could afford to be buried in caves, since it was expensive to have a cave dug. Some experts believe that the giant skeleton could have belonged to a member of the royal family, since it was likely that they would have been the only ones who could afford such an expensive burial. Now, let's talk about the strange things that they found inside the giant's skull. When the archaeologists examined the skull, they noticed that it had several strange markings. These markings were not only strange, but they also appeared to be very old. It appears as though the markings were made over 3,000 years ago, which makes them incredibly rare. Most artifacts that are 3,000 years old are either destroyed or heavily eroded. However, this skull was found in such good condition that it still has markings on it from 3,000 years ago. The markings on the skull are currently being studied by experts, and they hope to learn more about them in the coming weeks. It's possible that the markings are simply decorative, but it's also possible that they have a deeper meaning. One of the most interesting aspects of this discovery is that it has reignited the debate about whether or not the Nephilim giants really existed. The Bible tells us that they were on the earth in the days before the flood, but it does not say anything about what happened to them after the flood. Some people believe that they simply died out, while others believe that they survived the flood and lived among humans in secret. This new discovery could be evidence that the Nephilim giants did exist, but that they lived much later than we think. In fact, some people believe that they may still be alive today, but just hidden from our view. In recent years, there have been many discoveries that have fueled the debate about whether or not the Nephilim giants really existed. For example, there have been numerous reports of giant skeletons being found in various parts of the world. While many of these reports have been debunked, there are still some that remain unexplained. In addition to the giant skeletons, there have also been discoveries of giant footprints that date back thousands of years. Again, many of these discoveries have been debunked, but there are still some that remain unexplained. So what do you think about this? Do you think that the Nephilim giants really existed? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to hear your opinion. What's your opinion on this discovery? Is it proof that the Nephilim giants really existed? Or is there another explanation for the giant skeleton and the strange markings on the skull? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like it, then be sure to check out more content. With that said, thank you for watching. Have a great day.